Let's see about target number 2. One missed and one went dead center. Okay, so with both of our shots, one missed and one went dead center. Hello YouTube, I am Lightly Salted and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to the continuing adventures of the U-Boat in U-Boat. As you might recall from the last video, we have just completed our mission at Portsmouth Port. I had also let the community know that the newest member of our crew, the radioman Mr. Klaus Fischer, will be renamed. And the subscriber completely chosen at random is Devin Knox. Mr. Knox, thank you for joining the crew. Appreciate the support. Mr. Devin Knox will of course be our medic along with his additional duties as radioman number 2. And we look forward to working with him. I've already begun the process of resupplying the boat, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is jump into headquarters and see what we can get done there. I think at this point in the game, I'm going to lean rather heavily into getting the T3 torpedoes, so we never have to deal with T2s anymore. And I'll see you in a moment. Fantastic, now that we've picked that up, let's go ahead and get ourselves a mission. We have Sector CE worth 10,000 points with an additional 10,000 and 33% reputation should I manage to sink 4,000 tons worth of ship. We have BD, which has always been very good to us. However, part of the benefit would be getting yet another radioman, and I think I'm going to be maxed out on radiomen for the time being. The attack at Scapa Flow, while being quite an entertaining mission to pick up at the moment, I just did a port mission, and I don't feel like crawling around in slow time at this moment, so I think we're going to lean into Sector CE for this engagement. Strong winds are forecasted in the target area, so it should make for a bit of difficulties when it comes to keeping our depth steers. Go ahead and lock that down. And we won't bother with trying to pick up any more T3s until we go ahead and expend some in search of tonnage. Alright crew, to your positions please. Taff onto navigation, thank you. Alright crew, all ahead 4. Alright folks, I'm going to throw a little time compression in here, and with any luck, I'll see you in Sector CE. We've managed to pick up an incoming transmission, which is interesting, since we're only about 30 kilometers from the dock. We'll go ahead and see what HQ has to say. Alright, we've got ourselves a missing ship, folks, at 3921 by 2910. And that's well within our patrol sector here, so we'll go ahead and lay in a course. Alright, I'll see you in a moment. Alright folks, and we've managed to come across our missing compatriot. We'll go ahead and get Mr. Quebec to radio that in for us. And we happen to be picking up yet another transmission for BDU. Rather interesting day. And command has told us that the freighter Lucille M must be sunk at all costs. Lucille M. Alright, where's she hiding? She appears to be part of this large convoy of 13 to 29 vessels. That's going to be important information as soon as we deal with our missing U-boat. Alright, we'll keep a mark on her just so we know which direction she's going to be heading in. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not getting the pop-up that I normally get telling me that there's something going on in the area. So that's interesting. Mr. Old... Red, why don't you go ahead and take a peek at this for me, please? Okay. Alright, I'm not sure if the time simply expired on this ship, or whether or not I'm experiencing a bug. I cannot engage with the mission. I'm more than close enough to do so, and yet I do not have the ability to interact with the target. No, don't calculate torpedo courses. Okay, so that's a little interesting thing that just happened to me. I'm not too sure what's going on there. On the bright side, it gives us more time to chase down this convoy. Alright, this convoy has not moved very far, and she appears to be on a fairly easterly track. So we should not have too much of a difficulty in picking her up down the road. So we'll go ahead and lay in a rough intercept course. We're going to kick into high gear here. Mr. Community, thank you. Red, let's get you back on the engines, please. And, of course, Taff, I'll have you back on the nav. Alright, Mr. Quebec, let's get you down for a quick rest. We shouldn't be getting any more transmissions in the near future. Alright, let's carry on. Alright, and of course it is completely daylight, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think. Okay. So my radar is not picking up any aircraft at the moment, so it's very possible that there is no carrier with this convoy. However, just because I'm not picking him up does not mean anything realistically. So we'll get ahead of her. And then I think what we're going to do is cut in and dive. Mr. Knox, thank you for your help. You're doing a bang-up job here on day one. We'll get Mr. Quebec back on the hydrophone, as he happens to be the best I've got at it. And we will get ready to engage our large convoy. Okay, we are picking up more propeller noise to the northeast of our position. It's interesting. Alright, our convoy is well outside of its parameters here. We're going to have to figure out where she might be. 14 kilometers is a fair bit of a bubble. Alright, anywhere within there. I think we'll just try to cut into the center and see how that works out for us. Alright, we just got to jump to 8 kilometers. So with any luck, we should pick her up here momentarily. Alright, we appear to be trailing her. Let's go ahead and try to get around her a bit. This Corvette does not appear to be outfitted. Okay, we've got destroyers. I think we're going to want to go in this direction. Alright. So we've got a fair bit of fun going on. Now we're in their baffles. I should have no issue with staying fairly loud. I may switch over to batteries though, as to not give us away with the exhaust. I think I am going to do that actually. We'll switch over to E-motor. Mr. Knox, can you hop on the radio for me and let BDU know that I have spotted this convoy? Okay, we're coming up directly behind a destroyer. I think now would be a good time to go ahead and hide the snorkel. Taff, if you could take care of that for me, please. Let's go ahead and take the snorkel down. We're also going to switch to blue lighting. And I believe we're going to dive to, let's call it, let's say 150. Try to keep as low profile as we can. Taff, take a nap. Yes, good. Mr. Dragon, let's have you get your head down. Community, could you get on the engines for me, please? We need to keep our speed up for the time being. We're going to go ahead and arc around her a little farther as to not worry our destroyer friend here. Okay, we're starting to get eyes on our targets now. No way of knowing what's what. I'm currently sitting at 50 meters of depth, which is going to give us time to pop up and take shots if we want. And we're going to get an idea of how fast everybody's going. Alright, my rough and dirty calculations is that the convoy is moving roughly 4.5 knots. Good to know. Good to know indeed. Alright, convoy appears to be tracking a course of 58 degrees. So, 58 degrees for you, and roughly 4.5 knots. 4.5. Let's do the same over here. Alright. Now these are going to be pretty long shots. I don't want to get any closer to the convoy than I already am at this point. They're going to be very, very long shots, though. Kind of worried about it. Okay. Now these two targets are 1,700 meters apart. I'd like to fire at this, then this. The issue being that this ship and this ship both run the risk of blocking my torpedo shots. At the same time, I really don't feel like I have too much of a choice in the matter. I'm thinking this is the way to go. Alright, so this ship is sitting at roughly 6.7 kilometers from us. So we'll call that 6,700. This one's sitting at roughly 5,200 meters. And the two ships are 1,700 meters apart. So, that leads me to believe that if I wait for my torpedoes to pass this line, that they should land fairly close together. I may have completely messed this up, and we're about to find out. Alright, Skipper, go ahead and give me tubes 1 and 2. And fire. Now, let's go ahead and flood tubes 3 and 4. We'll wait for these torps to get past that line. Right about now. Alright. Ship propellers directly above us. I don't think so. I tell you what we are going to do, though. Taff, can we kill the gyroscope, please? That's going to be worrisome. Mr. Dragon, I don't need you on the engines at the moment. Why don't you go ahead and improve depth keeping for me? And normally I would switch over to manual steering, however I already have done that. Taff, you can grab a quick power snooze, please. Skipper, might as well get you down. These are extraordinarily long shots. This is very risky. Not too sure about these ones. They may be lagging behind. We'll have to see. I would say these torpedoes have missed. It's not looking great.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedo einschlag. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. 20 Sekunden.
Alright, we got ourselves a hit. It looks like we've tagged ourselves an Empire... I would say an Empire... Bell? Looks like it struck her dead amidships. That's a fantastic shot at that distance, honestly. I'm pretty happy about it. Let's see about target number 2. One missed and one went dead center. Okay, so... with both of our shots, one missed and one went dead center. Now, I would say there's no chance that either of these torpedoes are going to hit anything else for us. Sometimes you get lucky, and the torpedoes keep going on and do you a little bit of extra damage. Alright, we are going to zip on out of here as best we can, and try to replenish our supplies of battery and air before we get picked up by these particular unfriendlies. Oh, hang on a sec now. This torpedo has a chance of tagging this freighter. That would be fantastic. Okay, so we got a new contact. So one of those ships has dumped its lifeboats. And any chance this is going to hit? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Nope, the torpedo's track is going to take her aft of that ship. Still, overall, not going to complain too much about that. Okay, this Corvette is not outfitted with anything that can find me. If we can get away from this destroyer quickly enough, we should be in the clear here. Okay, so it's 11 p.m. I think I'll creep us up to periscope depth again. Go ahead and replenish our air, and then we'll try to get our batteries replenished as well. Taff, why don't we go ahead and raise the snorkel?
160.
Red doing a fantastic job on the depth steers. Mr. Quebec, let's get you down for a quick nap. Mr. Knox, how about we jump on the listening post for Mr. Quebec? And Taff, I'm going to need you navigating again. We should be pretty much burnt out on that. As a matter of fact, we're down to 32%. Okay, so nothing sunk. However, lifeboats were in the water. So that tells me that something is very close to sinking. So I think what we'll actually do is just turn around and head back in and see if we can pick up anything that may have not exactly sank, but could be sitting on the surface waiting for some help to sink. Alright, so our map is telling me that something is in this vicinity. I would guess this is the ship that abandoned its, that the crew had abandoned. So why don't we go ahead and do the vulture thing and see if we can't pick up a couple of points out of it. And then we'll get back to the surface, and then we'll ride on the surface for a little while and pick up this convoy again. Are we going to be leaving our patrol sector? Skipper, how are we doing observation-wise? Can I see this wreckage? Okay. That would be that ship that's pretty much directly in front of us here. I think what we're going to go ahead and do is risk popping out of the water. We'll put a couple of rounds into her, and with any luck we'll pick up a couple of points out of that. Let's go ahead and switch back to diesel, recharge a little bit of battery here. Okay, gotta remember that we are within visual range of these other targets. It's only the cover of darkness that's actually helping us out here. Come on, Taff, let's get this done. Alright, with any luck we can get this done here. I believe we're getting shot at. Yes, we are. That's unfortunate. I really need to sink this. Those shots are uncomfortably close. Alright, she's going down. Let's move and dive a bit here. Okay, we did indeed sink the Sankt Svithin. Svithin? I'm not exactly sure how to say that. Okay, we are going to head in this direction. With a fair amount of speed, actually. And the convoy's turning in on us. And she is outfitted. Okay, we're going to go ahead and drop to 50. We'll try to keep out of her way as best we can. Alright. And there was indeed a Corvette sneaking up behind us the whole time. Now that's interesting. Okay. Let's try to re-engage here. Everybody's looking for us. It's a little concerning. Taff, I'm realizing we're going to need blue lighting here, my friend. Thank you. Alright. Let's start picking up the convoy again. Okay, no reason to not start taking a shot at this fella. What was our calculation on them again? 58 degrees and 4.5. So let's call it 58 and 4.5. There we go. And we're fairly parallel to her now. If I go ahead and get the skipper onto the periscope, we can get a distance on her and have at her. Let's see. Tallest mast is in the rear. That looks pretty good. Right about... That looks pretty good there. And she appears to be an Empire Tower. Okay. Now, she's no longer alarmed, so I see no reason to not just shoot her now, provided we have some torpedoes ready to go. Which we do. Alright, let's go ahead and load up to 5 and 4. And fire. We may have missed. It is a miss. Well, that's very unfortunate. We missed to the rear. We must think she's going faster than she truly is. Oh, we did get a hit. Oh wow, it just happened to tag her right in the rear. Not much damage. That's a little unfortunate actually, losing a torpedo and losing the element of surprise. I'm going to go ahead and cut to this side, and before I do that, I'm going to have the captain pop a sonar decoy. Let's go ahead and do that, Skipper. That should keep everybody off our backs for a few moments. Fantastic. That will give everybody something to chase while I dive below the convoy.
Jawohl.
Okay, this is the first time we've managed to use one of our sonar decoys. You'll see here that we are making 85 decibels worth of noise at the moment, and we are getting a negative 90% benefit from the sonar decoy. So it's making it so they cannot quite pinpoint where we are. Okay, we're just about on the other side of the convoy here. We're also almost completely out of power. My plan is to simply pop a torpedo at this this particular Liberty on our way out the door. Okay, that's going to have to do before I lose my angle. The angle isn't perfect even now. We're going to sneak on up to 20 meters, and with any luck, we'll tag this Liberty. Alright, we're going to go ahead and flood tubes 2 and 3. And we're going to fire. And we're going to carry on trying to get away from this convoy with what little battery we've got left. I'm actually going to take the chance to run on the surface, just so I can try to use my diesel engines to replenish some of our power here. This is incredibly dangerous. I shouldn't be doing it. However, it is still early morning. We won't be all that visible. Interesting. It's a miss? What? Well, one of our torpedoes hit her. Apparently the other must have missed. Nope. My crew was just a little off in their calculations. We managed to pump 2 into her. Fantastic. It's unlikely that she's going to sink. That didn't do much in the way of damage. But it gives the convoy something to worry about while we get to safety. Alright, Mr. Quebec, you get on down. Let's get Mr. Knox onto the hydrophone for us. And with any luck, we can get away from this here convoy. Oh, she might go down. She's abandoned. She might go down. Yep. The Lady Hawkins, I believe, has sunk. Skipper, why don't we go ahead and call that in, make some money. Oh, that destroyer might know where we are. We are going to have to dive again. And we are going to have to slow down. Now, once I reach a certain depth, say 50 meters or so, I think I might just pop another pill and confuse them. Let's go ahead and chuck another sonar decoy. At this depth, we'll get away from it, and then we'll change our depth. Okay, we're going to increase speed and let them shoot at that for a while. Got to make some distance on it, as again, power is becoming a very serious problem. Okay, with any luck, they're just bombing the crap out of that. How are we doing distance-wise? We are 2 kilometers from it. 4 o'clock in the morning. It shouldn't be getting light-ish now. Alright, let's go ahead and speed up, and we'll get away from this convoy here so we can get everything charged back up. Where are we at map-wise? Okay, we're close to leaving our patrol sector at this point. However, we still haven't found the Lucille M. Let's go ahead and clean up all this silliness here. Alright. Alright, and my plan at this point is to recharge our batteries. We're good on air now, everything's all hunky-dory in that fashion. Once we've got the batteries recharged, I plan on trying to pick up the convoy again. And we'll take one more run in and see what we can't do about this Lucille M. And with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Be sure to tune in next time as we take one more run at this HX convoy. and see if we can make that number even smaller. Consider leaving a like and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Lightly Salted. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.